The year 1815. A small Mediterranean island called Elba. Napoleon Bonaparte stares across the sea toward France. In secret, he gathers his loyal officers. February. He sails for the French coast. He lands at Golfe-Juan with 1,000 men. The march north begins. The Eagle Flight. Royal troops sent to stop him. They join him instead. The column grows like a snowball through France. King Louis XVIII flees Paris in panic. Napoleon enters Paris in triumph. The empire returns. In Vienna, the kings of Europe are stunned. They declare him an outlaw. The Seventh Coalition forms. Britain, Prussia, Austria, Russia mobilize their armies. Napoleon raises a new Grande Army from nothing. He has just 100 days to act. In Belgium, Wellington gathers his army. The Iron Duke. Hero of the Spanish campaigns. Beside him stands Blücher, the old Prussian marshal. The two allied armies are scattered, not yet united. Napoleon sees his chance. Divide and destroy. June 14, 1815. The French cross into Belgium. Napoleon rides at the head of the Imperial Guard. His army splits into two wings. The coalition is caught completely off guard. The Waterloo campaign has begun. June 16th. Napoleon faces Blücher at Ligny village. He sends Marshal Ney to engage Wellington at Quatre Bras. Two battles unfold simultaneously across the Belgian fields. At Ligny, French infantry attack the Prussian lines. Heavy fighting erupts in the streets of the village. Old Marshal Blücher leads a cavalry charge in person. His horse is killed. He is pinned beneath it. The Prussians withdraw in good order at sunset. Napoleon wins. But he does not destroy them. At Quatre Bras, Wellington holds his crossroads. Marshal Ney attacks again and again. The British and Allied infantry hold their ground. Wellington learns of the defeat at Ligny. He must withdraw to a strong defensive position. He retreats north to the ridge of Mont Saint-Jean. June 17th. Heavy storm clouds gather over Belgium. Rain falls in torrents on Wellington's marching army. The French pursuit bogs down in deep mud. Wellington selects his ground with skilled care. The ridge of Mont Saint-Jean. A perfect position. He sends a courier east to Blücher. Blücher replies, I will come with all my army. The soldiers sleep in cold rain through the long night. Dawn breaks gray and damp on June 18th. The fields of Waterloo wait in silence. Wellington positions his army along the ridge. Hougoumont Chateau anchors his right flank. La Haye Saint-Farm guards the center. Papelotte hamlet covers the left flank. He hides most of his men behind the ridge crest. Below, Napoleon arrays his Grande Armée for battle. He surveys the British position through his telescope. The ground is too wet. He delays the attack. Hours pass. Precious hours wasted in waiting. 11:30. The first cannon roars across the field. The French attack Hougoumont Chateau on the right. Prince Jerome leads his men against the walls. The British guards defend every loophole. The north gate is briefly forced open. Colonel MacDonald pushes it shut by main strength. The great French battery opens fire on the ridge. 80 cannons thunder in unison. The British infantry lie down behind the crest. Derlin's First Corps marches forward to attack. 16,000 men in massive columns. The French climb the muddy slope toward the ridge. The British infantry rise from the wheat at the top. They fire devastating volleys at point-blank range. The French columns waver and break. Then the British heavy cavalry comes charging. The Scots Greys and Royals thunder forward. They smash into the broken columns. Sergeant Ewart captures a French eagle. But the cavalry charges too far down the slope. French lancers counterattack and overwhelm them. La Haye Saint holds against repeated assaults. Major Bering directs the defense from inside. Around 4 p.m. Marshal Ney sees movement on the ridge. He mistakes the wounded leaving for a retreat. He orders a massive cavalry charge. 5,000 French horsemen surge up the slope. The British infantry form into squares. Walls of bayonets bristle outward in all directions. Cuirassiers, lancers, dragoons, and hussars charge. They sweep over the top of the ridge. The squares hold like rocks in the sea. French cavalry rides around them, unable to break in. Muskets fire outward from every face of the squares. Wave after wave crashes against the formations. The flower of French cavalry is broken in vain. Around 6 p.m. La Haye-Saint runs out of ammunition. The defenders fight on with bayonets to the last. The farm finally falls to the French. French sharpshooters move into the captured windows. The British center is weakening visibly. Wellington gallops along the line, plugging gaps. He rides among his men, calm and steady. Stand fast, what will they say in England? The army holds together by sheer will. Wellington looks east. Where are the Prussians? Then on the horizon, blue columns appear. Blucher has come, as he promised. Napoleon sees the threat to his right flank. He sends the young guard to hold Plancenoit village. Plancenoit erupts in fierce street fighting. Around 7 p.m. Napoleon plays his last card. He commits the Imperial Guard. The veterans of 100 battles. They have never been defeated in attack. The bearskin caps climb the slope. Wellington has hidden the foot guards in the wheat. The Imperial Guard reaches the top of the ridge. Now Maitland, now is your time. 1,500 British guards rise as one. They fire a volley like the crack of doom. The Imperial Guard staggers and stops. They cannot believe what is happening. The British charge forward with bayonets. The Imperial Guard begins to fall back. La Garde recule. The Guard is retreating. The French army's morale shatters in moments. Wellington raises his hat in the air. The whole British line moves forward as one. The French army breaks and runs. Napoleon watches his world collapse. The old guard forms a final defiant square. General Cambron refuses all calls to surrender. Allied artillery breaks the square at last. Napoleon flees in his carriage, riding south. Wellington and Blucher meet at La Belle Alliance. The two old allies embrace in the twilight. The battlefield falls silent at last. 47,000 fallen on this small ground. 4 days later, Napoleon abdicates again. He surrenders himself to the British Navy. He is exiled to remote St. Helena. He dies there, alone, in 1821. Waterloo. The day that ended an era. Wellington whispered, "I hope I have fought my last battle."